Quill18 here, and welcome to a brand new Let's Play for Football Manager 2018. That's right, Football Manager is back to the channel. It has been some time since we led Ayr United in FM 17, and while we did dabble with FM 18 a little bit, at the time at release, I wasn't really pleased with a few of the UI things. Now, there are still a couple of UI things that I do kind of miss from FM 17, but 18 has come a long way to rectifying things, and there's actually quite a few things in FM 18 that I like a lot more than FM 17. So I think it is the right time indeed to start a new series. Now, way back when FM 18 was coming out, I was asking on Twitter, hey, what would be fun to play and things like that. And a couple people mentioned Portsmouth, and I did some digging around, and it looks like it's probably indeed a fun team to manage. So this is an English team that is currently in League One after a pretty substantial fall from grace over the last few years, as you can see over here. In fact, they were in the Premier League as recently, presumably over here, in the 2009-2010 season. And since then, they've dipped down to the Champions League, League One, actually made it all the way down to League Two before just getting promoted to League One over here. So maybe they're back on the rise. Now, I know absolutely nothing about this team in real life, just like I know really nothing about foot soccer ball in real life either. But we're going to try to do our best to have a good year here as Portsmouth. Now, if we take a look at the media production, we are currently predicted to come in 14th in the league overall, which isn't fantastic. I guess it's distinctly mid-table over here, certainly out of relegation range, and that wouldn't be too bad to do that. You know, would we be possible to end up a little higher than that? I don't know. Certainly when we talk to our team, we'll probably say something like mid-table. I don't know if there's an option for upper mid-table. Does this thing do like a split? What's that? Stages. Hang on. I bet you it does. First half of the stage, second half of the stage combined. Yeah, this is going to be one of those leagues where at some point the league splits in two, and then you can only do within that or something. Rules? Actually might be structure that I want. No, that doesn't help. Well, I mean, I'm sure we'll just find it along the way. I mean, ultimately, we're just going to try to do as good as we can all the time. Is going to be the plan. I'll look into the specificals a little bit later on. I don't know if it's literally a half-year split, but I think what it is, I think we play everyone, and then the league splits, and then we just play everyone in our half at that point, or something of that nature. So, yes, we are coming in here. Quill18, 38 years old. I went with the recommended skill level for the coaching and mental sides of things, and then obviously I wonkified things quite a bit here to min-max. Dropped adaptability down to 1 because I'm not planning going to another country. I dropped player knowledge down to 1, and your ability to sort of scout players is based on a combination of your player knowledge plus your scout's player knowledge. Now, I left youngster knowledge up to 20, and I think youngsters include everyone, is it like 23 and below? I think it might be. So we should be really good at getting a very fast and very accurate scout of younger players to maybe build up our team over here, but a little less good on the mature ones, depending on how good my scouting team is. Level of discipline is a little bit lower. Level of discipline is the thing that stops players from coming at you and whining at you. But on the other hand, man management I have up to a 20, which means when you do talk to your players for some reason, there's a much better chance that they will react positively. Motivating I set to 20. Sometimes I leave this off because I let my assistant manager handle the team talks, but I guess I'm going to have to be doing the team talks over here to use this. Alternatively, I could have set this down to 1 and maybe bumped up my player knowledge just for like stupendous scouting potential. But I don't know. I went with this just because I figured for the Let's Plays people would like it if I was talking to the team, but we'll see. For coaching, I always like to like sort of min-max things over here as well, just so that when we do the training thing and we get the coaches, I'm always going to do a little bit of coaching here, and specifically I'm going to be focusing, you can see here, I'm training up attacking, shooting, and ball control for now, and 3 stars in each isn't too bad. And if we get some more coaches, you know, we'll keep doing that. I'll probably still be doing a lot of attacking. I think technical does the ball control. Well, and I guess the shooting as well. Yeah, you can see here attacking and technical, and this is a little bit of mental and technical for ball control. So someone will probably go and replace this for me pretty soon. And then attacking. So there you go. So attacking is good for both of these, and then the technical and tactical. So I'll almost always be training for attacking and shooting. And so we may look for someone with really good technical plus mental to replace for the ball control. Although, we might want to get a second fitness coach at some point is definitely a possibility. So we'll see how that goes. Welcome to Portsmouth. So we will attend the meeting with the management over here. We're just going to click through pretty quickly. Yeah, send me some information about the club. I don't think we're going to do anything with philosophies over here. We'll hold a press conference because that's good for relationships. Thanks for the introduction to the club. Excellent. And now I'm talking to my assistant manager, Joe Gallen, over here. So he's going to arrange an inter-squad friendly, which, yeah, we're going to go ahead and sign up for that because we actually, our first friendly, I think, was in 12 days. So this is, I guess, went a little sooner. Written report regarding team. We'll take a look at that. Yes, I will meet the rest of my backroom staff. Oh, right, which just leads to this. I'm going to say thanks for your help. This allows us to automate certain behaviors. I'm going to go in and do those and tweak them by hand to do exactly what I want. So we're going to drop out of that. I'm not going to make any club requests. We have no philosophies to follow right now, which I'm kind of happy with because the philosophies are kind of hard to satisfy at the right time. If you're not following any of this, don't worry. We're going to get into like somewhat more interesting and more tangible things soon. This is just the initial setup. I'm trying to burn through it as quickly as possible because it's not particularly exciting. Current obligations in the transfer market, sure. So there's a bunch of players on loan and things like that. Current injury status over here. 6 weeks, 2 to 4 months. And a key player out for 4 to 6 weeks. These are really rough injuries to get started with here. Some of our best players are going to be out. Which kind of sucks. We've got our staff responsibilities here. We'll go and take a look at those in a second. Portsmouth, a background. So they've been around since 1898. They play at Frantham Park. What's the capacity over here? About 20,000 people. Not too bad. If we can fill that, we'll probably make a lot of money. This is a team definitely that's going to have some more money to play with than Ayr United. But on the flip side, is competing against slightly stronger teams. So I think in terms of like relative power level, it's going to feel fairly similar to how we were playing at Ayr United, but we'll have a few more options to play with because of slightly higher money. So here's a report over here on the team. Good youth prospects, that's nice. Good depth. Okay, defense depth is good. Good goalkeeping, good defense. And we have one of the best coaching teams in the competition. That's really nice. But overall depth, we have no transfer budget. Lack depth in the goal, so if our goalkeeper gets injured, we'll be a little bit of trouble. We don't have a lot of room to spend. And we aren't the strongest, not the best teamwork. We'll work on some of that as well. We got a variety of introductions here. Make captain. Yeah, I don't want to make willy-nilly changes to the captainship because that can lead to massive problems if you do it wrong. We get some information from the chief scout over here, which is good. Player search, senior package. This is how we're spending money over here. We can take a look at the scouting package, but yeah, oops. Yeah, we can spend different amounts of money on our scouting, which is kind of interesting. You know, I think this is a good addition to get a little bit of info. It's probably fine in terms of automated scouting, and then we've got our scouting budget here that we can go and boost by taking money away from the transfer budget. Probably we don't need a transfer budget. I'll probably move from the transfer budget to the wage ones, and we'll be looking for a lot of free transfers if we're looking to pad things out, because 67K transfer budget is really not much for us in this particular league and situation. So we'll take another look at the scouting situation once we figure out exactly what we want to do with our squad and our tactics. And speaking of, I think that's what we're going to do right now. First, I'm going to take a look at my squad. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to contract. There we go. I'm going to sort by value. We're going to find our highest valued player, which is presumably, you know, one of the strongest players on the squad. Steven Henderson here, he's probably the highest paid. Interestingly enough, Brett Pittman here is a little bit lower on the value, but he's getting paid a whole lot. So Henderson is one of our injured folks who's going to be out for 2 to 4 months. So, oh, he's our goalkeeper. Wow. So our super pro goalkeeper. Oh, he's on loan from someone. I wonder how much we're paying him. We're not paying him anything. So I guess we don't have to worry about canceling the loan, unless we want to open up a loan slot. Oh my god, most of our team... Look at this! Look how many people here are on loan, right? All these light blue. I think the light blue is a little hard to spot from the white here. I might go and tune these colors. I'm not sure. But yeah, a big core of our team are just loners. You know what? I'm really happy that I've got the high youth scouting, youth knowledge as my coach, because I think what we're going to want to do is really go and look to pick up some youngsters to train up as replacements for these lone folks over here as much as possible. Okay, interesting here. Stuart O'Keefe, he's another one of our top skilled players, top rated players, and he is a midfielder. In fact, specifically midfielder as opposed to defensive midfielder. That's his personal preference here. Likes to play as a ball-winning midfielder, which certainly I do like to use them on my squad. So right here, I think it tells us a little something about how we might play. Because I was thinking we could play with a sort of a DM formation, but we might play with just a regular midline over here. But let's take a look. Who else we got? So this is still sorted properly. Yeah, Nathan Thompson is another person who is injured for a long time. Who are you? You are one of our probably wingbacks is what we're going to be playing over here. We'll see. Connor Ronan. Young, 19 years old. Likes to play as an attacking, advanced playmaker. He's not too bad as wingers. In particular, makes for a decent inside forward on the left here. So inside forwards, what they do is they like to cut in a lot more, and you like to play them with like their opposite foot. That's interesting. Okay, I wonder how much we've got otherwise. Let's take a look at Matthew Kennedy over here. We've got another really skilled, really comfortable inside forward on the left. The question will be, how many inside forwards do we have on the right? Although we can play a slightly asymmetrical setup. All right, let's take a look at our tactics over here. So we got a couple preloaded. And what we're going to do, let me make another sort of a 4-2-3-1 like this. But probably without DMs, because it looks like that's not really an option. So by setting that up, then we can go to the team report and squad depth and compare for each of these formations what kind of depth we're looking at. So the one I was just looking at, the 4-2-3-1 wide without DMs. Midfield's a little bit wonky. I mean, we got Stuart O'Keefe there, who's awesome. You're not one of the injured ones, right? No, good. You're very good. Then we've got Brett Pittman, but Brett Pittman would also like to play up front here. And he's particularly good there. We've also got Connor Ronan, but if I recall... Oh, right, Connor Ronan is most comfortable in the middle, but he's got some flexibility. Brett can be a lot of things, not so much the wingers. So there's a little bit of competition for the attacking midfielder position. Deep lying forward actually has got some interesting potential, especially if we're attacking from the wings and maybe even playing some attacking wing backs. But yeah, that's a little bit weaker here. Just let's take a look. If we were to play, say, a standard 4-4-2, what are we looking at there? Cale Naismith on the flanks, Garrett Evans. I mean, they're not terrible, but it's not like it really stands out as a strong addition over here. So I think we've got a stronger thing if we're playing forward wings. And then, oh, that was the first one I was looking at. And then this one here, it's basically the same thing. But just taking a look at our defensive midfielders. Okay, hold on. So it's kind of awkward because we got that great player who's great at, like, I guess that would be Stuart O'Keefe over here. Oh, okay, so for this one, we're not playing in an advanced. But what if we did? What if we took this one here? But move the wings up here. I don't know what that would be called. 4-2-1-3 DM wide. I'm kind of digging that. Right? Because then we get, let's say we show player's best role. This is a good way to filter this. We can see that Stuart O'Keefe would love to play as a ball-winning midfielder up here. Now, it's a little weird because this would almost be better as sort of... Oh, it doesn't actually auto-choose the role. I mean, we'd be a support version of it. I don't know if that's going to be sufficient support to get things set up. But, all right, these guys, I'm really looking for wingbacks, probably in attack duty. Okay, let's say we play these guys as inside forwards, and again with attack duty. Now, what we'd probably want over here is a slightly more supporty deep-lying forward. Sorted by best role, Brett Pittman, if he were playing as a deep-lying forward, he would be rated fairly well there. He's about as comfortable between support and attack. And that's good. I mean, he's still going to take plenty of shots. He's still going to take plenty of shots, but he's really going to be looking to pass and make things like that happen. So the wingbacks on attack are going to move up. The inside forwards are going to move up and move in and try to shoot. A bit of a link up over here. Probably what we do for when we're on attack, say from our goalkeeper, we're probably going to be passing out to the wings. How are we doing wingback wide here? And for this, I want for currently selected tactic. Okay, we don't have the greatest wing back there. We'll have to be taking a look at some of the pace of these guys. That's particularly important for Donahue here. 12's not terrible. He can actually play anywhere up on the wing. That's interesting. And for Walks over here, 15 pace. That's quite nice. When you're looking for these wing backs, you're looking for someone, to me, wing back on an attacking role. There we go. You're looking for that pace, the dribbling, which helps a lot. Crossing is certainly going to be a thing, and passing. On loan from Tottenham. I think we could do a lot of shopping, I'd say, maybe for the wingbacks. Now, in terms of these defensive players over here, see, I think rather than being on pure defense, I think there'd be a lot of support things going here. But what role? You're already in there. Well, you're injured, so no. Deep line playmaker, actually, that could definitely... And you could be on pure defense deep line playmaker. Either way, you're looking to pass and connect. I mean, we're going to be looking to pass out to the wings a lot, but maybe that works. What else we got here? For best role, another ball-winning midfielder. You can't do, like, box-to-box back here or anything. It feels a little heavy on just, like, the I don't move much kind of situation. Now, O'Keefe, you're pretty good. You could do a little bit more. You know, you're not as comfortable with it. Well, okay, the comfort level is based on position. So, if we look at Stuart O'Keefe over here, like, it's just being a midfielder, he's a natural. He's probably, it goes up to 20. He might be like I think 19 or 20 counts as natural. So he's happy being in this position. And then the color of these various duties has nothing to do with comfort. It has to do more with like how you match various characteristics here. So, you know, his finishing and his long throws, I don't entirely know what has to do with anything. Like, he actually seems to be pretty good. He's double digits and green, basically, in everything where it matters. If we put you on... Oh, you can only be support with this. You've got great stamina, so your roaming around is going to be okay. I mean, you're not super fast, but I don't think you have to be turbo speedy. I mean, it's not highlighted. Acceleration might be a little nicer, but yeah, your ability to just roam like a madman. I mean, you're still going to be doing tackling and things like that. You're a little less fixed. I think I kind of like that. And then, yeah, a little bit of... and you know what? We may not need the deep-lying playmaker. We could swap Danny Rose and Stuart O'Keefe. Doesn't seem to really make much of a difference in terms of the meter. What are we looking at here? About the same stamina, about the same acceleration. Oh, if you were box-to-box midfielder. Less concentration, certainly a lot less finishing, but we're not really looking for you to shoot. We might even give you a specific instruction to do it less. A little less bravery, a little less anticipation. Vision is not quite as grand. Let me swap you two. 10 anticipation, bravery, composure, concentration, decisions. Yeah, I mean, again, not necessarily the 100% most ideal situation, But I'm kind of liking it. Okay, let's see what we can do with our inside forwards and how things are going there. Currently selected. So, yeah, Cale Naismith is the most comfortable in that position. About the same, similar star rating as others, but he's, like, much more comfortable there. And on the other side, we've got Matthew Kennedy. And Cale can play on both, which is nice. Or Cal, I suppose I should say, probably. And Connor as well. You got that. So goalkeeper, unfortunately, this guy's injured. Luke McGee's pretty damn good, too, actually. Really good. And yeah, we don't... If push comes to shove, we can pick up... I guess we're going to have to bring up a backup goalkeeper for our substitutions from the youth team, actually. We have no choice, because we have to have one as a substitute. Defenders... Christian Burgess seems to be pretty good. And Jack Wudmouth? I don't know. That's kind of a funny name. We got you there. And then later on, we'll get Nathan in here. Okay. I actually feel very comfortable with something like this. So, we have a very striking presence in the midfield. A little weaker defensively, perhaps, on the wings. Especially since these guys don't roam much. So we might get outflanked a little bit. We're going to have to keep an eye on that. In terms of attacking, so these wingbacks, yeah, they're really going to like to move forward and scrooch in here. I think a great attacking position while these guys just chill a little bit further back as defensive midfielders. Like, in front of the net, we're good. Really, like, if we're going to do anything, if we shop for anything, I think if we could get the highest possible quality wingbacks over here, that would benefit the most, both to assist with the attack, but also to be able to turn around and defend as quickly as possible. Now, what in terms of, there we go. In terms of overall sort of philosophy and mentality and different things we'd like to do with that, one of the things we can do, so if I say set to control and slightly more flexible, let's say fluid, what this is going to do, it's going to encourage the rear lines to be even further forward here. This isn't going to make much of a difference for the up front fellas. They're basically going to keep playing what they are. But these guys are going to push forward a little bit more. And that might be wrong. If I'm counter and more fluid, what that's going to do, this is going to affect the forwards a bit more and encourage them to play a little more defensively minded, but not make as much of a change in the back. That actually might be right. Now, the more structured you are, the less that's going to affect that. So, if I'm more structured, these guys are going to stay more forward roll despite the more counter mentality. I mean, this still has other impacts in terms of intensity of various roles, but you can actually poke around for each one of these. And you can see this mentality, and this meter is going to be the thing that changes. This indicates how aggressive this player is going to play his role, and that's the thing that gets modified by tweaking the balance of the mentality and stuff. So if we're going to play more fluid, I think like a counter-fluid mentality may be slightly correct, because these guys might be, in particular, you can see the mentalities drop considerably here. What other team instructions? Well, there's going to be a lot. Oh, my goalkeeper in particular. So, edit instructions for the position. I'm really looking for you to swap out to the fullbacks, I think. Yeah. I think that's going to be fine. So, that's my goalkeepers. We're really encouraging to go out to the fullbacks / wingbacks over here. And team instruction-wise, well, I'm always, no, sorry, not that. I'm always a fan of work ball into box here. And in particular, I think looking for overlap is going to be another instruction that's going to encourage fullbacks to move further forward and get a presence there. And again, might open up a vulnerability on the flanks, but might be good. We should actually take a look at our dribbling stats up front to see at 12, agility. I mean, they're okay for the league, but they're not like insane. Matthew Kennedy, that agility, that dribbling. You taking a run at the defenders would actually do a really, really, really good job. Dribbling, agility, you're not very fast. Yeah, I don't know if we'll say the run at defense instruction. I don't know if we're going to add an extra roam from. I think fluid's going to be enough of that. That's going to be okay. let's see here. I think play out defense is going to be okay. Rather than shoot deep, I'm really liking the idea of getting the ball to the wing back and encourage him to take the move. We're going to see how that goes. That being said, the occasional pass into space is going to be nice, especially on that left flank, because there's a good chance we can pass ahead of Mr. Kennedy here, Matthew Kennedy, and make some little moves going on. It's a little bit less strong. The pass into space isn't going to work very well with Brett Pittman here, because his acceleration is so damn low. His ability for like someone to send the ball ahead of him and him being able to catch it might be kind of questionable. I think actually we will turn that off in this case. I kind of like tighter marking. You know, get in there and prevent short goalkeeper distribution. I'm also quite keen on that. We could go close down more. This is a good way to get a lot of injuries, though. You know, just get in people's face as quickly as possible. Maybe I'll leave it at sometimes, and that's going to be okay. Maybe not tighter marking. You know, maybe like this, actually. Maybe that is going to be all right. So, early on, we're probably going to get a lot of injuries from doing this sort of thing, but I think this might be okay. I'm quite keen on this. I think this is pretty good. Let's go look at our under-23s and go steal their goalkeeper. Alex Bass, or Bass over here. Good potential ability, actually. Crazy hair. Not too good right now, but I think that's going to be okay. We will, how do we move you up from here? I know you can do it from, like, right-clicking on his name somewhere else. Oh, there you go. Move to senior squad. Thank you very much. So if we look back at the tactics and we just ask our assistant to fill in our unpicked position, those are our substitutes over here. So you're going to be in there. Yeah, we can't field all 12 substitutes. We just don't have enough people for that. But I mean, 12 substitutes are just for the friendlies, and that's going. And later on will be 7. And I think we're going to be okay there. I don't know what our depth in the positions are, given the injuries, but I'm kind of digging this. Are you digging this? I think I'm digging this. Let's take a look at our schedule here. So obviously we've got a friendly. Was it, they said tomorrow, so 26? Yeah, 27. So we're going to have a friendly tomorrow. And then we have a series of 3 away friendlies, which is a little bit awkward, but that should be okay. I like the training view here to get a good sense of the schedule. So nothing this week. Well, that's not true. We have a friendly tomorrow. It's not on the list for some reason. Friendly, and then training camp. All right, what we're going to be doing, it did say that we had some poor teamwork, so we're going to do that. Oh, just to save, I'm going to go and cancel you and you. Just one tactic right now so we can increase our familiarity as quickly as possible. I like the passing style, the mentality, the creative freedom, because we're playing fluid they're not super comfortable with. And the marking is awkward. That's as a result of the increased closing down here. So that's going to be a little rough early on. Our defense is going to be extremely leaky early on. And we are going to have to keep that in mind, that if we concede a lot of goals, it might not be a fault in the tactic. It might simply be a fault in the familiarity with the close down more kind of instruction. But, so for training here, what we're going to do is we are going to boost the intensity to high. I'm not going to go very high because it might lead to injuries. Even with these friendlies, I'm going to go to high over here and high over there. And my focus is going to be, early on, a lot of team cohesion. Team cohesion. We're going to try to build up some of the teamwork, try to get the people to work well in roles. We're going to do 2 weeks of that. I will also throw in a little bit of fitness early on, just to see if we can get a little bit more stamina, strength, acceleration, that sort of thing. I don't think this actually has much to do against preventing injuries, but in my mind it does, so we'll do that. In terms of match preparation, I mean, clearly we're going to be going for more match training and work on match tactics soon, but for now, I think what I'm going to do is, I don't know what I want to leave this on. I mean, if it's going to be anything, it might just be attacking movement. As a general thing. But early on, I'm going to throw an extra teamwork in here, which is very similar to the team cohesion. And then, yeah, we'll have to run match tactics after that until we get fluid. Once we get fluid with everything in our tactic, or tactics, then we will consider making some changes to our main focus over here. But yeah, an extra level of teamwork, that's going to be good. We haven't actually taken a look at the dynamics over here. Oh yeah, you can see our match cohesion's really very poor. It probably doesn't help that we've got a lot of loners. It's probably a team where there hasn't been a lot of play together. So boosting this up is going to be massive, massive, massive. If you take a look at the team hierarchy, Mr. Garrett Evans is the most influential. He's set as backup, which is interesting. When do we find out who's captain? Oh, there we go. Yeah, the little yellow tag. So Brett Pittman is the captain. Garrett Evans is the vice captain. Pittman, we are playing him. Up here is the striker, which again isn't. Let's see. Yeah, he's a natural there too. He's okay. Key player. So we're gonna want to make sure that Brett Pittman sees a lot of play. We're gonna want to keep him with the captain's armband. If he could actually move up to team leader or something, that might even work better. But Garrett's fine. We'll be looking to keep Garrett happy. What do you have a negative for? No strong feelings about the squad support for the manager, which remains a good level. Yeah, I think we'll be fine there. Keep everyone's mood up pretty good. We've lacking a good number of highly influential players. That's true. We've only got the one. Should look to recruit more leading players to offer greater balance within the squad. Yeah, we can consider that. Now, if we're hiring a lot of more younger people, they may not quite have that. And of course, if we hire a lot of people, that can break up a lot of these social groups as well. Garrett Evans, extremely happy. It's nice to see. Brett Pittman, fairly good. Overall, satisfied with most things. I think we're going to be okay. In the medical center, what we can do is sort by overall risk of injury. Right now, everything is increased because of the low match sharpness. Yeah. Match load is light. Training load is medium. Injury susceptibility, very low. Above average. But no reoccurring injuries over here yet, which is good. If someone starts to get reoccurring injuries, it's really, you may want to consider trading them away or something. Yeah, I think the higher training is going to be okay. Now, at some point, we may want to give people individual training, but especially for, specific roles, but that will increase their training load. So I'm not going to do that yet because right now their basic training will be for just their general position, very unspecifical, and that's okay. But yeah, we'll give people more specific training later on, especially people who are at lower risk of injuries. They can handle a higher training load. All right, I think that brings us to the end of this first episode. Now, I think what we're going to do is we'll probably skip the friendlies. I probably won't show you guys the friendlies. And so we're going to come back when we are facing Rockdale here in our very first game of the Skybet League 1. It is going to be at home. Hopefully we get a good crowd. Hopefully we get a lot of energy. Hopefully our team is performing halfway decently throughout all this. It's going to be on August the 5th. It's currently June 27th. So we got basically all of July to burn through. We've got some friendlies in there, and we've got the training camp that's going to happen. So we'll see how that goes. Thanks for watching. Hey, if you are new to the series, the first episode is always the one that's important to drop those likes and favorites and comments and shares and all those kinds of things. And if you're new to the channel, do make sure to subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.